and a very warm welcome. You're watching the news on Rupavahini.
I'm Javid Bongzo.
And I'm Nipuni Samarasekara. We start off with a look at the headlines. The WHO World No Tobacco Day International Award presented to Minister Maithripala Sirisena. A Pakistani minister has said that President Mahinda Rajapaksa's government has won acclaim because of winning the war. The Indian Janata Party leader has said that India has many lessons to learn from Sri Lanka on fighting terrorism. The Defence Secretary has said that the manner Sri Lanka will face future challenges will directly impact the stability of the region. Overseas, the Syrian president has challenged Western countries to prove that his government is linked to the chemical weapons attacks.
And now for news in detail. Minister of Health Maithripala Sirisena has been presented with the 2013 WHO World No Tobacco Day Award in recognition of his splendid leadership against smoking. The World Health Organization has presented this award to the minister in appreciation of his anti-smoking program. The World Health Organization states that 1 person dies in every 6 seconds throughout the world due to smoking. The number of persons addicted to smoking throughout the world amounts to 1,000 million. 80% of them are from the developing countries. In Sri Lanka, the smokers amounted to 32% of the population in the age group of 15 to 64. The government has been able to reduce this percentage to 21 at present. The Matata Titha policy of President Mahinda Rajapaksa has contributed to this reduction. The World Health Organization has commended the bold step taken by Minister Maithripala Sirisena to publish pictorial warnings against smoking on 80% of the cigarette packets. The Director General of the WHO, Dr. Mrs. Margaret Chan, has nominated Minister Maithripala Sirisena for the Global Award this year. This award is presented each year in recognition of service being done by a person or an organization to minimize the use of tobacco and smoking. At a function held at the BMICH this evening, President Mahinda Rajapaksa presented the Global Award to Minister Maithripala Sirisena.
අධිකරු ජනාධිපතිතුමන්ගේ සුරතින් දුම්වැටියෙන් තොර ලෝකයක් නිර්මාණය කිරීම සඳහා ඉතාම වැදගත් තීන්දුව తీරන රසක් ගනිමින් විවිධ බාධක අභියෝග මැද අධිකරු ජනාධිපතිතුමන්ගේ ආශිර්වාදය මහින්ද චින්තනය.
The keynote address was delivered by Professor Dianath Samarasinghe. The WH Program Manager Armando Paragua also addressed the function. The Minister of Health of Thailand and several ministers and parliamentarians attended the function.
The Pakistani Federal Minister for Planning, Development and Reconstruction, Ahsan Iqbal, who met the President at Temple Trees yesterday, has said that the Mahinda Rajapaksa government is admired by everyone due to the winning of the war. The Pakistani minister has thanked Sri Lanka for sending medical teams for dengue control activities in that country. The minister has said that this measure has earned much goodwill for Sri Lankans in Pakistan. The minister has discussed with the president about enhancing trade between the two countries. The president had said that it should be done in a manner that could help development of political and economic cooperation between the two countries. The Deputy High Commissioner of Pakistan in Sri Lanka, Amina Balok, Secretary to the Ministry of External Affairs, Karunatilaka Amanugama, and the Director General for South Asian Affairs in the Ministry of External Affairs, Darshana Pereira, have also attended the discussions.
The leader of the Indian Janata Party, Professor Subramaniam Swamy, said that India could learn many lessons from Sri Lanka on fighting against terrorism. He said that Sri Lanka is heading in the right path to become a developed nation. Professor Subramaniam Swamy emphasized this matter in a special discussion with Rupavahini.
Sri Lanka has now emerged as a model on how to fight terrorism. And I'm sure that many countries would like to learn. I believe that Indian military personnel and intelligence people have come to Sri Lanka to learn how to fight terrorism. You built a first-class airport and a shipyard with the help of the Chinese, but still it is your workmen were all Sri Lankans, and you are creating tremendous infrastructure. I see your roads are very, very good, and so these activities are now showing that Sri Lanka is preparing to become a hub, and I think your growth rate is also increasing quite fast. Your education level, literacy level is very high. So this is the age of knowledge, as they say. Earlier on it was the age of machines. Now the 21st century, they say, is an age of knowledge, where by thinking new innovations you make progress, particularly now that the computers have come. So I think Sri Lanka is very well placed. It is your opportunity awaits you.
Meanwhile, Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa has said that the manner in which Sri Lanka faces its future challenges will directly impact the stability of the region. He said that after defeating terrorism, Sri Lanka has now become a peaceful country in the world. The Defence Secretary made these comments addressing the 3-day Defence Summit of 2013, which commenced in Colombo this morning. The theme of the summit is challenges being faced by Sri Lanka in the post-conflict period and the sustainability and stability of the region. The summit will discuss several subjects, including the progress achieved by Sri Lanka in the post-conflict period, Sri Lanka's contribution to the security of the region, and making Sri Lanka an economic hub in the region. Local as well as international experts are scheduled to address the summit.
Sri Lanka is now one of the most peaceful and stable countries in the entire world. However, there are still a number of challenges that the country faces. These challenges, together with issues that affect regional stability, are critical considerations at this juncture because of the impact they will have on the country's future. It must be noted that a lot has been said, particularly internationally, on the subject of reconciliation in Sri Lanka. Unfortunately, much of what is said has been negative and lacks a holistic perspective grounded in the realities of the post-war Sri Lanka. Reconciliation is a process. Like all processes, it takes time to accomplish. Demanding overnight results, it's counterproductive.
The Defence Secretary said that the assistance of the members of the security forces are being obtained only for essential development projects that are being implemented to normalize the life of the people. These projects have even been commended by the Human Activities Coordinating Office of the United Nations. Secretary to the President Lalit Veeratunga, Chief of Defence Staff General Jagat Jayasuriya, commanders of 3 forces, Secretary to the Ministry of External Affairs Karnatilaka Amanugama, leader of the Indian Janata Party Professor Subramaniam Swamy, and several foreign representatives attended the inaugural session of the summit. President Mahinda Rajapaksa has said that the government led by the Sri Lanka Freedom Party has paved the way for the people of the north to enter into the sphere of full democracy after defeating 30 years of cruel terrorism. The party, which faced many obstacles and challenges, has overcome all these barriers and has become the main political party in the country. The President made these comments addressing the Mammoth rally held at the Maligapitiya Stadium in Kurunegala to celebrate the 62nd anniversary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. Sri Lanka has become the pioneer of a sustainable economic development. People throughout the country are appreciating the democratic policies being adopted by the government by holding elections at scheduled times and upholding democracy and improving economic growth. The President, addressing the rally, said that Sri Lanka Freedom Party, which was born due to the aspirations of the people, will march forward with dedication to fulfill the aspirations.
The
President said that 62 years of the history of the party was not one of bed of roses. It was his father, the late D. Rajapaksa, who joined the late Prime Minister SWRD Bandaranayake when he crossed over from the UNP. After that, others also joined. The party began on a small scale. The President reminded the people that at the initial stages the party was even unable to get candidates to contest in certain electorates. He said that this is the most powerful era of the party. There are 128 members of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party among the 162 members of the government. We have, he said, a two-thirds majority. The President emphasized that the government did not adopt shortcuts to acquire power. He said that the Sri Lanka Freedom Party is not a party that exerts foreign pressure and launches conspiracies to acquire power. He said that the SLFP has always come to power with the blessings of the people and by winning the hearts of the people. The President pointed out that the party shattered the imperialist links and freed Trincomalee and Katunayake. The President said that throughout the march of the party it has made the country a republic, made the Sinhala language the official language of the country by giving equal position to the Tamil language, nationalized ports and other important institutions, distributed lands and built a national economy. He said that there is no country in Asia similar to Sri Lanka which has held elections at the correct times. The President said that he has held 11 elections since he assumed office in the year 2005 and thereby upheld the democracy of this country. He said that the opponents of this government are making all attempts to topple this government and to send him home. He said that even if he was sent out, the people of this country will not be distracted from their bond with the Sri Lanka Freedom Party.
මේ රටේ ජනතාව ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයෙන් අයින් කරන්න බැරිය කියන එක අපි පැහැදිලිව කියනවා. அனைவருக்கும் வளமான எதிர்காலத்துக்கு வாழ்த்துக்கள் கூறி விடைபெற்றுக் கொள்கின்றோம்.
The chief whip of the government group, Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, said that the election defeats reveals the displeasure of the members of the United National Party to remain further in that party. Minister Gunawardena made these comments in response to a question raised by the United National Party parliamentarian Ajit P. Pereira in the parliament today. Ajit P. Pereira asked why the President has not appointed an election commission to hold a free and fair election. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that they have answered this more than 10 times. The parliamentarian asked which provincial council was established through free and fair elections. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena responding to the question said that it is because of the free and fair election that the United National Party contests and lose elections. He said that if the member wants to learn about politics, he is prepared to teach him politics. He said that the Sri Lanka Freedom Party has boycotted elections and have not contested elections due to the greed and later complained after losing the elections, saying that the elections were rigged or were held in an unfair manner. The minister said that the people are rejecting the UNP and is because of this reason that the members of the UNP are joining the government. He asked the members to take measures to protect at least existing members of the UNP.
Economic experts state that the economic progress that has been achieved by Sri Lanka is exemplary to other countries in the region. They made these comments to National Rupavahini, expressing their views and opinions on the 6th South Asia Economic Conference, which commenced in Colombo yesterday. The conference commenced yesterday under the patronage of Senior Minister D.W. Gunasekara. The objective of the conference is to increase economic cooperation among the countries in the region. The delegates attending the conference have pointed out that Inter-cooperation is vital to address the economic problems being faced by the countries in the region. Even India is facing a severe economic crisis at present. The devaluation of the Indian rupee has created a great impact on the economy of that country. The experts attending the summit have commended the progress that has been achieved by Sri Lanka economically in a situation like this.
As you can see on your table, what we really want to do was try biodegradable cosmetics and so on and so forth.
I think the summit is excellent. The economies of the region and Sri Lanka would continue to grow. And between India and Sri Lanka also, the relationship is far better than in the past, economic relations, and which also means political relations.
Yeah, I think basically there are so many things, good things happening in Sri Lanka, and people are looking at, countries are looking at this positive progress that Sri Lanka has been able to achieve, and many countries can learn from very favorable and positive progress that Sri Lanka achieved.
We really look at these indigenous solutions and of conflict resolution, and trying to see learn from Sri Lanka and Nepal, because in Nepal there was this Maoist thing, and in Sri Lanka we had our own Sri Lankan own conflict, but the way both of these countries they tackled this conflict and they tried to bring life to normalcy, I think there is a lot to learn for Pakistan and Bangladesh in it.
Today was the 147th anniversary of the police. Several programs were held throughout the country to celebrate this day. George William Robinson Campbell was the first Inspector General of the police in Sri Lanka. He became the Inspector General of the police on 3rd September 1866, and this day is being celebrated as the National Police Day. The first Sri Lankan national to become the Inspector General of Police was Sir Richard Aluvihara. It was in the year 1947. It was the police service that participated in the Defence Music Band at the Independence Day on 4th February 1948. The police service in the country started with 585 officials and 47 police stations. It has now expanded to 433 police stations and to more than 84,000 officers. The responsibilities vested with the police service include prevention of crimes and unlawful activities and building a peaceful society. The main celebration of the 147th Police Day was held at the police grounds in Colombo. The theme of the celebration was marching forward with the community. The Inspector General of Police N.K. Ilangakon and the Secretary to the Ministry of Law and Order Nanda Malavarachi and several high-ranking police officials attended the function. The Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation also held a special program today in connection with the Police Day celebrations.
Meanwhile, 3 houses reconstructed by the Sri Lanka Navy were vested with their rightful owners by the Navy today. These houses have been reconstructed by the naval officers under the guidance of the Navy Commander Vice Admiral Jayanath Kolabage and had been carried out under the supervision of the Northern Commander of the Navy Rear Admiral Sarat Disanayaka. The measure forms part of the program being implemented by the Navy to provide social welfare activities. The keys of the houses were handed over to their owners by Rear Admiral Sarat Disanayaka.
The annual Chariot Festival of the Nallur Kovil in Jaffna will be held tomorrow. This festival will be broadcast live by the Netra channel of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini from 4 AM onwards. The Nallur Kovil is a historically significant place of worship. After ending the war, the Tamil people from various parts of the country and the Sinhalese people participated in this festival. Foreign devotees also attended the festival. The Chariot Festival will come to an end with the water cutting ceremony on the 5th of this month.
Well, you're watching the news on Rupavahini, and we have Charmin in the studio with us with the sport news.
Thank you, Nipini. A very good evening to you. I'm Charmin Samarasekara, bringing you the latest on sports. The Western Province has won the overall championship of the 39th National Sports Festival held at the Jayatilaka Stadium in Navalapitiya. The festival was held for 3 days and the Central Province has won the second place. The Western Province has won 76 gold medals, Central Province 41 gold medals, and Southern Province, which came to the third place, has won 28 gold medals. The best athlete was Manjula Kumara of the Southern Province, who won a gold medal in the high jump event. The best female player was Chandrika Subhashini of the Northwestern Province, who won the 400-meter event. They received motorcycles as awards. R.M. Anoma Karnavansa of the Eastern Province, who created a Sri Lankan record in the pole jump event, and B.M.I. Siddhisanayaka of the Northwestern Province, who created 2 Sri Lankan records in the weightlifting event, received motor vehicles. The chief guest at the concluding ceremony this evening was Minister of Sports Mahindananda Alatgamagi. The Governor of the Central Province, Tikiriko Bakatua, also attended the function.
Well, that's all the news we have for you tonight. Do join us tomorrow at the same time for more. Until then, it's a very good night from the Rupavahini News team.